Welcome to ESPN's coverage of the U.S. Women's National Team. We're coming to you live from Talon Energy Stadium, just outside of Philadelphia, Chester, Pennsylvania, as the U.S. Women's National Team taking on number 24, Colombia. The team's just now taking the field as we welcome you in. I'm Glenn Davis. Alongside me, she's former U.S. Women's National Team midfielder Julie Foudy. Now, a lot is going on off the field, as you may already know, with the U.S. Women's National Team. 5 of their high-profile players, on behalf of the team, filed a complaint with the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission against U.S. Soccer, seeking wage equality on behalf of teammates. So here are some of the sticking points to go along with that, including playing conditions and a lawsuit regarding the validity of the current collective bargaining agreement. And Julie, without a doubt, it's been a trying time for U.S. players because they've been on this world tour, but they've also had to deal with this off-field activity.
And so many off-field distractions. And I spoke to quite a few players over the last few days. They all contend that it actually hasn't been a distraction, that they're very good. And they said, look, we've had practice in this. Before the World Cup, we've had distractions. They're very good at saying, okay, we're going to leave the off-the-field stuff just there. We're going to leave it off the field, and when it's soccer time, it's soccer time. Even Jill Ellis has said they've been nothing but professional in all of this.
Well, let's take a look at the numbers in 2016, because along with professional, they have been dominant.
And again, adding to the plate, on top of the legal battles, is they had a victory tour, and they've had appearances, and they've had media, and a lot of things in the public eye, yet they have not even faltered. 39 goals for, 1 against. They've qualified for the Olympics, of course. They've won the She Believes Cup in March. They've had nothing but success, and they know the end game is to do something no one else has done. The end game in all of this is to become a World Cup champion, and then the very next year win the Olympics. No other women's team has done that, and that's what they're focused on.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about right here and right now, today. How much of this is about assessment? How much of this is about, tactics and a lot of the differing things we're seeing with this team under Jill Ellis?
I think a little bit of both, because you do have to make some decisions. There's not many games left before they actually head over to the Olympics. Jill Ellis knows that. She's obviously going to look at their league play, but she knows I have limited opportunities to see for those last few spots that I'm going to take on a shortened roster to the Olympics. And the second thing is she knows we have to continue to progress. If we want to win the Olympics, we've got to get better, and I'm going to try new scenarios. I'm going to try different tactics, different formations, all those things. So I think a little bit of both in the game today.
And that'll make it interesting. When we come back, we'll bring you the lineups here in Chester, Pennsylvania. Number 1 in the world, the United States, taking on number 24, Colombia.
So proud.
Beautiful conditions here in Chester, Pennsylvania, as we welcome you back to ESPN's coverage of the women's national team getting set to take on Colombia. Their head coach, Fabian Tabardo, long extensive youth coaching, has coached the under-17, under-20s, took them historically into the round of 16. Here is their lineup, but Julie, this lineup does not resemble what we saw in Canada.
And just a couple changes from the game on Wednesday, notably Ureli Rincon. We'll talk about that in the game, but this is a lineup that's hoping a much different outcome than the 7-0 from Wednesday night.
Jill Ellis, the FIFA Women's World Coach of the Year. Look at that record, 46-3-10. She starts it off here tonight, and a number of changes here leading us into some interesting areas.
And to that assessment area, talking about Mewis in that holding central midfield position, and Tobin Heath at right back. She played a little bit at left back in the game against Colombia. You're going to see her getting forward and pushing press higher as well in that 4.51.
All right, Julie, let's take a look at our Continental Tire Analyst Corner.
We talked to Jill Ellis a lot about the way she wants to see this U.S. team play, and she said the fourth goal against Colombia, and here it is what we want to see. We don't want to just possess for possession's sake, but started from a center back, worked through the midfield, went wide, got in line, Carly Lloyd on the end of it. That's the possession the U.S. is seeking. Possession with a purpose in that final third.
And it's game on here in Chester. The United States in their dark uniforms against Colombia in their traditional yellow. And right off the top, Mallory Pugh, number 2, the 17-year-old trying to break through. And pouncing on it is Catalina Perez, the 21-year-old, for Colombia in goal here. U.S. leading the series 4-0-0 overall, outscoring Colombia 15-0, and it was just 5 days ago on Wednesday night, dominating every facet. The U.S. with 6 different goal scorers, winning 7-0 in East Hartford, Connecticut. But again, this is a Colombia squad that is missing a number of their top players. Referee is Margaret Domka. Colombia has not played since July in the Pan American Games. Crystal Dunn has come away with it for the U.S. Carly Lloyd now, 30 miles away from her hometown of Delran, New Jersey. Here is Lloyd. Cross is blocked. And the U.S. coming up with that typical energy here to start it, Julie.
And one of the scenarios that Coach Jill Ellis talked about that they want to start the game with will deal with number 17, Tobin Heath. She's playing that right back position, but you're going to see here, she said, we're acting as if we're down a goal in the start of this game, and I'm going to push her high, which pushes press high, almost like a 3-5-2 for the United States.
Here's Mewis, who has an important start here in central midfield today. Klingenberg has joined in the attack now. Early ball into the box. Not able to get turned, and tackled on the turn was Horan. One thing that jumps out about Colombia, certainly they are a technical group. Their head coach, Fabian Tabardo. You got to wonder in the last few days what they've done after that dominating performance against the U.S. What do you tell a team? We'll get back to that in a second. Mallory Pugh will try to square it back in the box. It's blocked. Swings in another cross, and Colombia will get it cleared. It has picked up where it left off in East Hartford. The aforementioned Heath. Julie Johnson measures it out wide. Klingenberg is pushed high here on the left. Into the box it comes. Trying to get turned. His press gets a shot off. Good clean handling from Catalina Perez.
Press has been so good in these tight spaces, just creating a little bit of a gap, a window, finds it there with a cutback. And right on goal, so an easy save for Colombia, but creating those opportunities early for the United States.
Becky Sauerbrunn wins the header. Mewis, Lloyd, and here is Tobin Heath, who did score on Wednesday. And Jill Ellis saying the challenge is to keep this team fresh. They are missing through injury today. Alex Morgan with a hip injury. Morgan Bryan with a hamstring has been sent home. And maybe for those two players, Julie, some much needed rest.
Yeah, both of them picked up in their NWSL.
Crystal Dunn into the box. It's just shot wide. Knifing into that penalty area was Kristen Press. And these are important moments for her.
You can see the U.S. pressing on these, picking it up. Dunn having success, picks her head up. What a nice little ball in there. And that's one that they're going to want back, because you just don't get that many good looks like that in front of goal.
Crystal Dunn has been absolutely on fire. Had a goal on Wednesday. She has brought what it seems, Julie, a more polished and refined games with all this opportunity she's been getting under Jill Ellis.
And she's got confidence. That's what she says. That's the biggest difference, is when I didn't make that World Cup team, all of a sudden I said, I got to change my mental outlook here.
She was the first player brought in by Jill Ellis after that World Cup. Dunn back towards press. It's as though the U.S. have 12 players out here right now. Klingenberg to Mewis. She'll knock it back to Julie Johnston.
And you're seeing with this U.S. team a change that I think has helped them so much. And when they lose the ball, they press right away.
Lloyd, top of the box, tackled away.
They're pressing higher. Here it is. They lose the ball. They get numbers behind the ball, numbers around the ball.
And they're winning it back in really good areas. Carly Lloyd out of Rutgers tries to square it back. The World Player of the Year.
And that wasn't something that they did enough of, I thought, at the World Cup. They sat back deeper. They came out of a more bunkered position, a lower pressure defensive style, and you can see the U.S. just plays better offensively when they're pressing. You obviously can't do that for 90 minutes against the better teams.
Tricks and flicks at the top of the box. A shot from the 17-year-old Pugh. Still loose. Off the turn, it's blocked by press. But yeah, there is some real transition going on here from a purpose of play standpoint. Sauerbrunn, Mewis towards Dunn. Pass is cut out by Colombia. When they look up, just don't have anybody in front of the ball. Just, hunting the ball in packs is the United States. Colombia ranked in South America second behind Brazil. They are the two teams that will represent CONMEBOL in the Olympics, and they're just going to knock it over the halfway line to relieve the pressure. And
to your point earlier, Glenn, about why so many players from that Colombian team, after the success they have, aren't here, and a lot of it comes down to the fact that they've been fighting for things like we've seen with our U.S. women, that they want change in their federation, and the coaches even said, and we're not happy about that, so we're leaving them at home.
Yeah, no Lady Andrade, no Ingrid Vidal, no Danielle Montoya. As Colombia breaks out now. It's Tatiana Arisa trying to make something happen with the outside of her foot, trying to pick out the angled run there of Catalina Usme. Pugh will get it wide. Crystal Dunn presses in the box. Lloyd at the top of the box. Dunn's cross is blocked. Crystal Dunn very active here early. 12 goals in 17 games for Dunn.
And it's working with press pushed higher. You're seeing, and press, I think, is more natural in that higher position rather than out wide. So it's a two-front in that scenario situation, which we talked about with Ellis. Heat higher, press higher.
Interesting here. The U.S. is setting up out near the 18 to try and get a run at this delivery. And they will, and it comes. Carly Lloyd threw her head at it, couldn't make contact. Sauerbrunn picks the perfect moment to step up, wins it back. Frantic, very quick pace here. But with purpose and real intent from the United States, we're only 10 minutes in. United States with a new freedom to attack in differing ways now. Here's Tobin Heath, who lined up at the start of this as a right back. with her left foot. Goes to the back post, shooting opportunity. It's pulled wide. What a chance it was for the FIFA Women's World Player of the Year.
And really a mistake by Colombia. This should be cleared out. It skips over her head, you're going to see. And Carly Lloyd, a little gift on that back post. First touch is a good one. Just can't get it on frame. But that's got to be cleared by Colombia. They know how dangerous the United States is on those set pieces.
Of course, these two teams met at the World Cup back on June 22nd. The U.S. winning 2-0. Let's go down to the third member of our team, Monica Gonzalez.
Lynn, I was curious as well what happened to Lady Andrade and Daniela Montoya. And Felipe Fabian Tabor, the Colombian coach, told me they're being punished. And while he wouldn't tell me why, I did some research on Twitter and found Daniela Montoya in September went on a radio show and was complaining that the Federation hadn't given them their bonus for qualifying for the round of 16 in the World Cup. That's $3,000 worth of bonus. And also, so you know, the Colombian salary is zero. They pay for $25 a day per diem when they're in town and $70 when they're out of town.
U.S. threatening here. That's some great work from Monica, who has done some great digging on what is happening with the Colombian women's national team. So as the U.S. are also involved in off-field affairs, so is Colombia, and that is why some of their star players are not available. We will talk in depth about this.
Lady Andrade is a drive away. She's in New York. She plays for Western New York. She could be driving into this game. I was told she actually watched the first game from the stands in Hartford.
Sounds like she's in a timeout right now. And so talented, Lady Andrade.
I think the word that the coach also used was that Monica told me was misbehaving. It's unbelievable.
Archaic terminology to be addressing.
And then to that point, Ureli Rincon, who is another one of the stars, it started in the game on Wednesday night. She has been vocal in the press about some of the Colombian Federation's treatment of the women's players isn't starting as well, and has been told she shouldn't be talking to the press.
A lot of unrest, and that's after their monumental World Cup, because remember, they knocked off France in group play. That shocked the world. France was number 3 at the time, and for portions really did outplay the United States before the red card ejection to goalkeeper Catalina Perez. So both teams with issues, both preparing for the Olympics, which they both qualified for, but both with some off-field issues. Lindsey Horan will knock it into Crystal Dunn.
Tobin Heath is pressing so high on the weak side of play that she's literally on the front line in this. Again, the scenario that Jill Ellis wanted to start this game with is Heath at right back, press at right midfield, but they're playing as if they're a goal down, trying to emulate scenarios they might face in the Olympic Games and pushing both of them into higher positions.
Yeah, we had a wonderful discussion with her yesterday, took the pen and paper out, showed us how her system works, and said something incredibly refreshing. We are looking out not over the next 9 months, but towards 2019. And that's the date of the next World Cup. So this is a coach with a real vision, and it's not a short-term vision.
You don't hear a lot of coaches do that. I got to take care of getting a win in that next big tournament, and that's it.
Lacey Santos knocks it inside. This is Isabella Echeverri. Arbelayes knocks it back. And Colombia devoid of really a lot of their great decision makers when it comes to their attack. Horn wins it back. Press with a curling, bending ball that's cut out. She was trying to pick out Dunn. You could see the idea. Let's look at Kristen Press. 65 appearances, 32 goals of the Chicago Red Stars. NWSL. First 11 last year. Yesterday snowing at the U.S. practice. Julie Foudy had a great time out there yesterday.
For the 0.2 seconds I lasted out there. California. This California kid knows better than. All right, I'm out of here. I've seen enough.
Softened up.
I've always been soft.
I'd say that's debatable. Klingenberg now. We know that's not true.
It's remarkable the difference, though, with the sunshine out today.
Upper 40s now, might even reach 50. Space on the left side now. Mallory Pugh, here's the 17-year-old. Touch goes long, and over the end line, it'll be a goal kick. Let's go down to Monica Gonzalez, who's got more on why Colombia has not played since July.
Well, it comes down to funding, and when a federation is going to hire the staff for a national team, they also have to decide if they want to hire staff for different national teams. And Fabián Taborda has been was the Colombian U17 coach before he became the full coach, and he's been coaching all three selecciones or national teams since then. So there was an event with the U20s in November and another event with the U17s in January, which means no full team until after that camp in January. That's when they started camp again.
Thank you, Monica. So there you have it. Colombia, let's be fair, have come into this very ill-prepared. Over the top, towards Lloyd, and it's cut out. But they are fighting here. It's much like on Wednesday, where they competed for about the first 20 minutes and then things began to break down, Julie.
And that's really where it shows its sign. When you get into that second half, into the first half, they just don't have the fitness. And you look at it in comparison to the United States. Since the World Cup, the U.S. has played 18, 19 friendlies. In Colombia, this was their first since July of 2015. I mean, that's just crazy to me.
That's insanity.
With a team that, to your point, generated so much excitement and enthusiasm in their country for getting out of the group stages and getting into that round of 16 game, which they played very well against the United States.
Why is it they didn't capitalize on that great excitement from the World Cup?
The million-dollar question, Glenn. Because they don't care is the sad thing. There's so many federations that just don't care about their women's programs.
Switch of play now. That was from Lacey Santos. Colombia having a hard time getting out of their own half of the field. Again, they are devoid of some of their great stars. Beautifully cushioned down and knocked wide now. Jill Ellis mentioning that she's got to prioritize the depth central, so this makes this a very important game for Sam Mewis. Ali Long getting a start in the last game on Wednesday, scoring twice as a central midfield player. So that's one point of contention for the manager.
Absolutely, and especially as we've seen with Morgan Bryan out with the hamstring, she's not even here. She went back home to rest up. That position, they need some depth in that holding central midfield possession.
Velasquez knocked it inside. Ospina lost it. It's still Colombia now. Most extended time in the U.S. half. They'll get a right-footed shot off. Decent run there from Diana Ospina, the 27-year-old. It's the best attacking moment we've seen, and maybe the only one we've seen from Colombia. The house is packed here at Talon Energy Stadium on the banks of the Delaware River. Absolutely gorgeous day here in Chester, Pennsylvania. Time we've seen the U.S. even drop off slightly with their line of resistance here, and Colombia now, you can see, technically can move a ball. Klingenberg to Becky Sauerbrunn. Jill Ellis mentioning to us that she wants Becky Sauerbrunn to be more vocal, more demanding of those around her. What an outstanding World Cup Becky Sauerbrunn had. Every year in the NWSL, she has won the Defender of the Year award.
It's so underrated when you look at the FIFA World Player of the Year list. She's not even on the long list, not on the FIFA Pro Women's World 11, not on the All-Star.
We'll talk about her
technical list
with Julie Johnston, because Julie Johnston's success, these two play as one, don't they?
And they will say that there's a combination between them that's very natural. But with Becky's play, and to the point of being so underrated, I think a lot of it comes down to, my theory is she plays in such an understated way, very similar to Joy Fawcett.
Klingenberg towards the end line now. Sweeping tackle, and a good one from Liana Salazar. As Klingenberg again getting high on the left side, as Heath does it on the right for the U.S. Yeah, that's a great point, Julie. Sometimes these elegant defenders that don't have to be as physical, sometimes the spotlight doesn't shine on them as much.
When I spoke to her yesterday, I said, maybe you need to start getting some red cards or something, tackling harder. She laughed. She's like, no, I'm not going to change my style.
Lewis was targeting Kristen Press, who came in from the right side. Coming up next, it's Major League Soccer Sunday, presented by Audi here on ESPN at 4 Eastern, as Will Bruin and the Houston Dynamo taking on Clint Dempsey, who returns to Texas. Jordan Morris and the Seattle Sounders. That comes live from Houston. The match is also streaming live on Watch ESPN and the ESPN app. Pressure-filled game for the Houston Dynamo. It's a more attack-oriented Dynamo that is looking to get some results, and the Sounders coming off a 1-0 win over Vancouver last weekend. Clint Dempsey getting that lone goal. And with some real consequences early in Major League Soccer. Switch of play from Salazar. 22 minutes in, we're tied at 0. The United States and Colombia. It just seems, Julie, sort of a new freshness. There seems to be players having a lot of fun here. It's a team that just, I think because of some of the tactical things that Jill Ellis is doing, she's making it more interesting. She's challenging these players.
And she said, I've really pushed them on the freedom point of playing freely in that final third. And the players will also tell you that one of the things that brings that jolt of energy for them is that young player. The Mallory Pugh at 17. Crystal Dunn's energy. I mean, those two coming in. Sam Mewish. You got a lot of young players in there who bring an innocence and an energy to the program.
And to be fair, with the retirement of Abby Wambach and Lauren Holiday, the New World Order got shaken up a little bit, didn't it? And I mean in a healthy way.
Yeah, then you also had some injuries. You have, of course, some of the pregnancies, and it forced Jill Ellis's hand a bit in terms of having to go younger. And I think she's seeing the energy that it brings.
And again, she repeated, she's looking out to 2019. What a turn from Dunn. A diagonal run from Horan, who had gotten forward. And the Colombian bench is up, including Fabian Tabardo. They wanted a foul on Lindsey Horn, who in herself is an amazing story. She bypassed the college game, Horn, from Golden, Colorado, and jumped into French professional soccer with Paris Saint-Germain. The only female player in U.S. soccer history to do that was Horan. That was a different way of taking her game to the professional level, Julie.
Yeah, and to have the courage to say, I'm going to turn down a scholarship to one of the best programs in the country, to the best program in the country, really, and I'm going to take my wares and try them overseas. And she said it was a great experience for her. She loved it.
She's only 18 years old, living on her own in France. Signing that contract with PSG right out of high school. She had gone over prior and trained with Leon as a high school student. Now she finds herself in midfield. Was a striker in France. Horn. Laid off. Pugh. Dunn. The crossover. It's Open Heath now who has pushed high. Tackled away. It'll be a corner for the United States here. 26 minutes in. Second of the game for the U.S. Tobin Heath to deliver. Towards the 6. Mewis threw her head at it. Shot is blocked. It hit Mewis, who was thrown on the ground. And Klingenberg now will spray it out wide. Horn into the box, trying to get there with the touch. In it goes. Kristen Press has put the U.S. up 1-0 here in Chester, Pennsylvania.
And you know, with Kristen Press, she's not going to let two opportunities slip away. She had one earlier on, and this one, Horan getting her head up, playing a perfectly weighted ball in for Press, who courageously, seeing that Perez is coming out, knows I just need a little bit of a touch on this one, and I'm going to beat Perez on that one. What a great finish by Kristen Press.
Delicate touch, her 33rd international goal. She was a sub on Wednesday in the 7-0 win. Stanford's all-time leading scorer.
And that is the thing about Press. She doesn't need a lot of opportunities in front of goal to finish. She is so efficient. And for Perez with Colombia, when you come that far, you got to get something on it if you're going to come as a goalkeeper. Or else you get punished by the best strikers in the world right there.
Tobin Heath. And she's brought down. It's going to be a free kick. Take another look at that goal.
We're gonna look at the offside line. When Horan hits it, you could see Press just leaning a hair. Oh, she's coming from a deeper seam. Dunn was the one. Press coming from that deeper seam, but Dunn clearly involved in the play, a hair offside.
Fourth goal in 2016 for Kristen Press. Well, the Olympic draw is Thursday in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. And Julia, today is a good exercise, though, right, for Jill Ellis, because it is against a team that's defending deep. This is something the U.S. has to get more competent at, breaking teams down that defend deep.
And it's something she's been focused on with that holding central midfield position, which is Mewis today. It was Allie Long on Wednesday night. Finding the space in that seam between the opponent's forwards and midfielders.
What a turn from Dunn. Carly Lloyd, top of the box, helps it on. Kristen Press hit it sweetly, but not on target. Goal kick, Colombia. Carly Lloyd, 30 minutes away, grew up. Sort of a homecoming here today for Lloyd. And Carly Lloyd has scored a goal in every game she's ever played against versus Colombia. And as you look at Kristen Press. Mewis, Horan, checking inside, brought down, free kick U.S. Colombia in their hotel yesterday did their training session inside, didn't even go outside. The U.S. session was shortened. Not after having some fun in the snow, though.
There's the press again defensively, Glenn, picking it up.
Mallory Pugh squares it back and it's clear. And you just begin to slightly see the legs maybe potentially going from Colombia. They seem to be dropping even deeper, Julie.
And the U.S. knows that, so every time they lose the ball, they defensively press. And they're having great success with picking it up in that attacking third.
Long ball hit over the top. Sauerbrunner's going to leg this down. Yeah, we barely mentioned Alyssa Nair, who's getting the start today for Hope Solo. He's still looking to touch the ball for.
Finally got her first touch in.
There by Colombia again is Tobin Heath.
And given what we just saw happen with Erin McLeod with Canada just losing their #1 goalkeeper to an ACL injury, she's out for the Olympics. You can see why Jill Ellis, I'm actually surprised she doesn't play Nair and Ashlyn Harris more in that backup position, just getting them some minutes and some experience.
Good look at Mallory Pugh. And by the way, she had a very serious injury at age 14 playing youth soccer. She's with the club Real Colorado and their director Lauren Donaldson, but had a break that had her out above the knee about 3 to 4 years ago. And Lauren Donaldson, their director, said, look, she came back in 6 months. We thought it would take 12 to 16. And at that moment, we also realized this is something special here we're working with. Good look there at Alyssa Nair, Julie. 6th cap today for her.
And with that roster of 18 going to the Olympics, 2 goalkeepers will go. Hope Solo, of course, you think healthy is going, and then Nair possibly could be the next one in there, and another assessment opportunity for Jill Ellis.
So what's the conventional thinking here out of that 18-player roster? Couple places still up for grabs here. We'll get back to that in a second. Here's Pugh from Lloyd. Mallory Pugh back to Carly Lloyd, can't control it. His shot will go wide.
I think, well, funny you ask. We have a graphic to support that, Glenn.
Brilliant.
I think you got probably 15 who are solidly in. You got your goalkeepers. You're going to take one other goalkeeper, as we mentioned, Nair on the bubble as well. And then on the bubble, you're going to have a midfielder, holding midfielder. You know she's got to take either a Mewis or a Long, probably another center back. And then I would argue for some experience if you are going to take a lot of youth, and a Heather O'Reilly. You know she's going to bring a positive team chemistry, experience. She can burn on the flanks and turn on the speed. So I think Jill Ellis is probably sitting comfortably with 15 and looking at holding midfielder, a center back, and one other player. So 3 that are fighting to get in.
You mentioned Heather O'Reilly, who sits on 229 appearances for that legend for the U.S. Klingenberg will get across it. It's headed straight up in the air. Dunn trying to battle in there.
And you know what you get with Heather O'Reilly. You know you get an incredibly loyal, positive person on the team on top of it, who at any moment's notice when she comes into a game, if she comes in the 70th minute, she's got fresh legs, she's got pace. think there's so much upside to what she brings with that experience as well.
Catalina Usme is down, the 26-year-old. She's been to 2 World Cups, 2011, 2015, and had one of the infamous goals in the 55th minute against the French in group play. Nobody expected to see Colombia get out. Good look, Heather O'Reilly there, and look at this list of caps here, and that's some amazing experience we look at there. Back to Mallory Pugh. Do you think she's the eventual number 10 and playmaker for this team? If we project out, we look into our crystal ball.
I do. I mean, she even says she feels most comfortable in that number 10 position. But here's a 17-year-old that shows a calmness and grace to her play that you just don't see in younger players. For her to come in and make such an immediate impact, and you know the nerves are there. When you talk to her yesterday, she says, "Oh my gosh, I look back at that January camp. I was a wreck. So many nerves. I still have them, but I feel at least like I belong and I'm more confident."
So many have talked about her tactical acumen, her understanding of the game, being on a higher level than most her age.
And she's got on top of that, she's got pace. She's technical. She's a good finisher. She's got all the elements.
Her club coach at Real Colorado, Lorne Donaldson, told me her ultimate best position, just like you mentioned, is as a playmaker, a number 10. For the moment, that won't be happening.
Yeah, it was funny too, because as I said, "Hey Mallory, have you been a part of any of these compensation talks?" And she laughed. She goes, "Haven't got a clue. I don't even go to those meetings." And I think she's worried about right now finding a prom dress. some different problems in life.
Heath with the outside of her foot. Carly Lloyd, top of the box, finding a bit of space here. Boy, she is just blown into the stratosphere of celebrity status and has really had to juggle that. Says she's finally feeling refreshed. Here's Klingenberg. Squares it back. Lloyd was at the near post. Couldn't stuff it in. The onslaught continues here from the U.S. Colombia reads the give and go. And everybody's back defending. When they finally do get the ball, Julie, they look up and there's nobody there.
U.S. having a ton of success on this left flank. And if it isn't Pugh, it's Klingenberg coming down that left side. And what a nice seam. She looks up. She sees Carly Lloyd. She did everything right. She made the run. Just a little bit of a technical breakdown. You can see it in her face there, knowing she did all the right things, got herself into that position. Just couldn't execute at the last second.
To go back to the point of some of the missing experience and talent for Colombia, only 5 from that lineup that played against the U.S. in the round of 16 getting a start here today. So it's about half their team. Horan tries to work a give and go. Bounced off the referee, Margaret Domka. Horan has got it back now. And Colombia will get the free kick. 39th minute.
I'm not sure I saw a lot in this foul. It looks like her hand was just trying to cut it back. Maybe clipped her there on the shoulder. Oh, she caught her with her leg. That one's going to hurt.
Catalina Usme. Scorer of one of the most historic goals in Colombia's women's national team history. Well, we talk so much about the attacking qualities of the United States, we forget how good they are defensively. Best defending team in the world, and Jill Ellis saying her back 6 just remarkable in the World Cup in 2015. Free kick Colombia.
Yeah, you could easily argue that the U.S. back line is what kept the women in the World Cup in the earlier stages when they were struggling to find their offense.
Well, they were, and there was a real turning point. The Colombia win and then the quarterfinal against China. That was really the turning point, wasn't it? From an attacking perspective.
And they started to what we're seeing here today. They started pressing defensively. They started changing the way and the pace at which they were playing.
Morgan Bryan came on. They pushed Carly Lloyd higher up the field. And the rest was history. Sauerbrunn. Legs swept out from under the feet of Kristen Press. U.S. have been raiding forward here. Love to get a second before halftime. Colombia battling bravely here. Tobin Heath has been getting the responsibility to stand over a lot of this delivery. She'll curl it towards the near post. It's a great ball. It's a great goal. Julie Johnston will guide it in with a swinger. It's 2-0 U.S.
Taking it back to this goal, you're going to see Johnston all the way here, deep, coming from that seam. She's coming across early, and Colombia doesn't drop. If they're going to keep that high line, that keeper's got to come with them, Perez. And Johnston just taking advantage of that dead space there. What a great little touch, and ball in by Heath. A similar touch as to Press's with Perez on rushing in that first goal. But with that high line, if they're not going to drop, Perez has got to fill some of that gap.
Sixth international goal for Julie Johnston. Really ideated herself to the world in the World Cup with her outstanding defensive play. And here she is on the ball now. Chance of USA now, echoing.
And that's so deflating because Colombia thinks, okay, if we can get into halftime at 1-0, then maybe we got a chance in that second half to keep this close.
Mallory Pugh with the step over, and it's read beautifully by Arbeláez. Nothing better than a center back having a good defensive game and scoring a goal. Here's Press, back to Pugh now. Press in an offside position, flag went up. It'll be a free kick, Colombia. Coverage of the UEFA Euro 2016 begins June 10th on ESPN. 2014 FIFA World Cup champion Germany headlining the 2014 field from France. It'll feature the great stars of Europe, such as Cristiano Ronaldo of Portugal and Zlatan Ibrahimovic of Sweden. The matches will also be streaming live on Watch ESPN and the ESPN app. Well, the Euros are going to be spectacular this summer. It's a virtual smorgasbord. Copa Centenario, the Olympics with the women. How are we going to find time to watch all these games?
I know.
We'll make a way. On top of that, the NWSL begins on the 16th here in April. Oh, it's a good-looking ball. Jackknife type run there from Kristen Press, trying to get on the receiving end of that distribution from Crystal Dunn. Sauerbrunn will knock it back from that great soccer playing city of St. Louis, Missouri. Beautifully measured pass out wide. Klingenberg. Offside flag is up on Carly Lloyd.
You wonder, Glenn, how good Julie Johnston is on set pieces. The great Paul Carr just reminded me, all 6 of her goals have come on set pieces. That's right, all 6. I really don't know what I would do without Paul Carr, actually.
I don't think a lot of people know what they would do without Paul.
Thank you, Paul.
Coming up at halftime, we'll take a look at first half highlights and then break down a little bit more of the legal battle with U.S. Soccer and the wage discrimination